Let's have a look at that goal then, because Peter, it was scored brilliantly by Alvarez, but made by Phil Foden.
Yeah. Hopefully, Phil will be joining us in a minute. But yeah, he was fantastic tonight. Well done, mate. Superb. Phil, just looking
at look at your goal, Phil.
At the goal there and your performance, really. Talk us through this one.
Yeah, the manager decided to play me more inside today, in between the lines. It's a role that I enjoy. I managed to pick up a good space here, and Cover saw me, and I seen Julian early, and he has this instinct for goal, and in and around the box he's ruthless.
You talk about that central role, Phil. Like, obviously today it just worked fantastically well. You're just constantly getting those pockets, getting on the half turn and looking for Haaland. Do you prefer that rather than playing out wide?
I've always played there from young, growing up. It's a position that hopefully I can move into there in the future, or maybe this season. We'll have to see with the manager where he decides to play me. But we've got the best player in the world in there, Kevin De Bruyne, and when you're playing at the best team in the world, sometimes it's hard to get trusted in there. But today I thought I enjoyed it, and I looked sharp.
Have you had to have a lot of patience in there? Because I know you're a young player. Young players, you want to play, you want to get in there. You know your ability. You've been one of the best young players in this country for a number of years. Given the players that you've got in there, like Silva, Bernardo Silva now as well, Kevin De Bruyne, as you mentioned, how do you manage that, having to be patient and bide your time, given that you know how good you are?
I'm not going to lie to you, Rio. It's difficult being a person I am. I always want to play, and I knew the challenge. Is very difficult here. The manager spoke to me a few times. He said, "Remain patient. You always train very good and work hard, and you'll get your opportunities in the future." And now I'm living up to it, and I'm more than happy.
Do you find playing in that position centrally where you're having to get turned? I heard Rodri speak in the week saying you're the best in the club at being able to turn in them little areas and face the opposing defenders. Is that something that's always been natural to you, or something you have to constantly work at?
Yeah, I always feel like I said, from younger, I've always played in the 10 role growing up, and I've always been very sharp on the back foot and turning in them tight spaces. I've not played there for a while, and it's took me a few games to be honest to get going in there, and I feel like today I was more myself, finding Earl with some passes, but at first I played there the last 2 games now, and sometimes I didn't see the things, and the more you play in there, you just get used to it again, and like you did when I was younger.
7 chances you created in that position tonight. Do you feel like you were sending Pep a bit of a message?
Well, obviously that's the aim, isn't it? Because there's so many quality players, and that's a level. I just try and not think about that and do my best every game and try and work hard for the team, and that's my aim every game, to try and get better and want more from myself.
You know when there's other players like De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva's, do you recognise that and think this is my opportunity really to go and hunt for the ball? Do you feel more confident sometimes when they're not on the pitch and you can be the man?
Obviously now with the likes of Kev out and Bernardo missing today, that's probably why maybe I got trusted in there today, and like I said, I enjoy playing in there, and hopefully in the future I pick up more games there and show people what I can do. And
you obviously had injury last season. You had appendicitis as well to deal with as well, which interrupted your season. Is it now just about consistently getting that run in the team and putting those performances in?
Yeah, definitely. I think last year was one of my most challenging seasons. Every time I seemed to get going, there was always a setback with my foot or my appendix. Hopefully that's out the way now. I can pick up a run of games and get up to full form and where I was like 2 seasons ago, so I want to get back up there and playing at my best football.
Phil, congratulations on a brilliant performance tonight, and thanks for coming up to talk to us.
Thank you.
We'll let you go.
Well done, Phil. Brilliant tonight, mate. Brilliant.
Cheers, Phil. Thank you.
It's nice to speak to him and listen. He's very aware of the competition in there, and obviously careful with his words, but no doubt after that he's someone who wants to actually hit the manager between the eyes with his performances, and he understands that with them guys out, this is a huge opportunity for himself.
What about the England manager as well? Because is that somewhere, obviously, I'm sure he'd like to play more for England behind Harry Kane. He's doing it tonight behind Haaland, but couldn't he do a brilliant job there behind Harry?
Well, do you know what? We haven't got a Kevin De Bruyne who plays for England, and I feel like he's stepping into that role. What we've seen tonight, the England manager will have seen it as well. In those central positions, like you say, with a Kane or a Rashford in front of him, being able to turn, and no doubt in my mind, he's the best in the league. And we talk about all these buzzwords like pockets, between the lines. No one does it better. Getting on the half turn and attacking a back 4 or a back 3 and sliding passes. I don't think there's anyone as good in the league at the moment at that.
If Gareth Southgate is going to allow any freedom in the team, and for someone to play off the cuff within that team, it has to be him for me. In those central areas for England, he is undoubtedly the best that we've got. And when he turns in those areas, and if he's got the licence to go and create and just have that little bit of freedom with the likes of Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham behind him, maybe, I think he opens England up to a whole new way of playing.
Do you know what, though? It's one game. It's a long season. Obviously, he has to prove this again and again and again, like the top players do.
Yeah, he
Well
wants
done,
to run
Crouchy.
now.
We do get carried away sometimes.
We do, mate.
Keeping everyone's feet
He's
on the
good,
ground,
he's young,
he
he's
said.
English.
Get them feet back on the ground
That's
right
what we
now.
love.